Hello, you guys. Hello, happy Thursday. I'm back today. How is everyone doing? Um, my name is Andrea Ellis, and I'm a life coach. I'm the founder and CEO of Fear Free Living LLC. It's a soul and mind wellness company, and I help women overcome their fear issues so they could live their best life, be about God's business for their life, and accomplish their dreams and goals and fulfill their destiny. So today I'm back on. Blessings, welcome. Oh, hi, Crystal. How are you doing, love? How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good day, and hope London is doing well. So today I'm back on, and I have the message for today is interrupt the pattern. Interrupt the pattern. What pattern am I talking about? Interrupt the pattern of fear. Yes, you're welcome. Interrupt the pattern of fear and dysfunction in your life, because many of you, welcome, embrace. Thank you for coming in, guys. Please share. So I'm talking today about interrupting the pattern of fear and dysfunction. And many of you may not attribute fear as a dysfunction, but it is. Not because something is common, and not because most people have fear issues does not mean that it is healthy. Okay, so because something is common, because something happens all the time, doesn't mean that it's good. So fear is very common. Fear, it's just a part of our world. If we're going to be honest, that doesn't mean it's a good thing. And I know there are people that talk about a little bit of fear is good, and that kind of language, but if fear has its way in your life and you don't control it, meaning that you are not controlled by it, because fear will often come up, especially in new situations. A lot of people are defaulting to fear. Until you train your mind and you train yourself with the help of God, your default will naturally be fear. For most of us, it's just a part of a fallen world. So God don't want us to live that way. I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, so I believe God's principles about fear. Fear is a spirit. It's not just a biological function or just a way of thinking. There is a spirit behind it that affects our biology, that do affect the way we think. So I'm not talking about the fear as what we would call fear, meaning like somebody pull up on you with a gun, okay, and you know you're in danger, and your response may feel fear. I'm not talking about that type of fear, people, okay? So let's make that distinction, because I know sometimes people talk about, I'm not talking about that. And even in a situation like that, for a trained person, they feel the danger, but they may not respond in fear. They'll respond in fight or survival or so on and so forth. So, but most of us will respond in fear, and in that way, it's a good thing. It's just telling your body that you're in danger, you need to get away from this situation. They may do bodily harm to you. So I'm not talking about that, okay? So let's just make that clear, because some people are, they say little things about stuff like that. So I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about you are not fulfilling your purpose. You are not accomplishing your potential. You're not doing things that are in your heart. You're not even, some people are stuck in relationships because of fear. They think maybe they have a bunch of kids and they think, I'm never going to get anything better, or they've been in that dysfunctional relationship for like 10 years and they're like, I hate starting over, or they don't want to be alone. That's all fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of no one else wants me, or something to that extent. So then they stay in that dead end relationship when they make that person take up that space. And if they had removed that, then God could have brought the right person in. So fear has damaged us in so many areas, and we don't really realize that, okay, in so many areas. And fear of loneliness is a big thing for many people, and just fear of they think they're not going to get anything better. And the only way you're going to think you're not going to get anything better, especially in a dysfunctional relationship where it's not going anywhere, is because you don't know your value. You don't love yourself enough. You don't know your worth. And your brokenness has made your decisions. Okay, so if you knew your worth, if you loved yourself the right way, then you would have known better and got out of that situation. But because you don't know your value, and most likely that person you're with has added to that belief about yourself, thinking that you're less than. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's a whole nother thing, but that has to do with it as well, because that's coming up very strong in my spirit. Some of you are stuck in wrong relationships because of fear. Okay, you've wasted a lot of years. Women, I'm speaking to you, wasted a lot of years because you think you can't get anything better and you don't want to be alone. You've become desperate, and the man knows that. He know you ain't going nowhere, and he's not going to move the relationship to where you want it to be. Okay, so you're wasting your time, and he's just jabbing at your self-worth, guys. That's just jabbing at your self-worth. And you know what? This might be tough to hear, but part of it is your fault. Because, when you're in a relationship like that, you're not happy, and you're not married. This is for people especially not married. There are some married people, but I'm speaking to ones not married right now, and you want to be married. You want to have that, but you're not happy, and you know this is a dead end relationship, but your fear has kept you in it. It's your fault. It may not be your fault in the beginning, but after you see you've said to this man what you want, what you desire, and which is nothing hard you're asking for, but he is not shifted. He's just being the way he is because he's taking you for granted, and he knows you're not going anywhere. It's become your fault. You've added to the problem instead of challenging this man to step up. You have to walk away, guys. Don't be desperate for a man, guys. You have to walk away. Don't be desperate. Okay? Desperation will keep you stuck in bad situations. Don't be desperate for anything. The only thing to be desperate for is finding yourself and knowing God. But don't be desperate for anything else. Okay? So anyway, if you're in fear today, we are talking about interrupting that pattern of fear, interrupting that pattern of dysfunction, interrupting. What does that mean? I had wrote some things down when the Lord told me to speak on this. Interrupt is to break the continuance of something, to stop the pattern, to stop it, to discontinue operation. Okay? Fear needs to be discontinued in your life. Okay, fear needs to be discontinued. It needs to be stopped controlling you. Okay, it needs to stop controlling you. That's what I mean by when I said fear needs to be discontinued. It needs to be stopped controlling you. Okay, you need to execute fear in your life. Put it to death. Okay, because what if you're not controlling your fears, it's controlling you. How do you control your fears? Meaning it's not stopping you from doing what you need to do. Meaning that you go towards the things you're afraid of. Take steps towards those things. Meaning you get to the root of your fears. That means your thinking, your belief system, what even caused you to have that fear. Get to the root of them. I'm big in my coaching about getting to the roots of your fear, and I help you with that. A lot of it starts from traumatic situations, from even going through the fear of rejection, abandonment, all sorts of situations plant those seeds of fear, and now it's become a stronghold. And these are the people I'm talking to, where fear is a stronghold. That means you are really controlled by it. I was controlled by it, so I know what I'm saying. I was controlled by it, and I did my work by the help of God. And you have to do your work, guys. Okay, your greatest dreams, desires is on the other side of you conquering that fear. Okay, now you having control over fear doesn't mean you never feel any type of fear. It doesn't mean that fear never comes up in especially new situation. It doesn't mean that. It just means when it comes up, it don't have any control over you. Still do what you need to do. And if you practice that enough, you'll get to some things you never have fear about. I know there are things that I used to be afraid of. I never have any fear of them. No matter what, that's just gone out of my system, but it came with doing my work in practice. Now, in new situations, a lot of times fear will try to creep back in. but you have to catch that and you have to pull that down and you have to do what you need to do anyway. Okay, you have to do, and you could train yourself in that way where even if it pops up, you catch it and you just pull it down. It don't take any time to like penetrate. You just recognize it. You're like, oh no, and you dismiss that. But this is with practice and training. But this is where God is bringing you guys as believers. He's bringing you in his way of functioning, his way of thinking, because a lot of us are trapped in the fallen way of things. When Adam and Eve fell into sin, we really took on that fear spirit. The world took that on. But God is lifting his children up out of this thing. You know what I mean? And he's teaching us how to live beyond fear and how to live in his kind of confidence and his kind of courage and his kind of strength. And that's why I'm helping women to walk in that. He's training me and he's training other people as well, believers, period. Anyone that's open to this. I believe you don't even have to be a believer. If you're open to these principles and allow God to come in, he'll work with whoever. He'll work with whoever. Make themselves available. So, I wanted to say God is waiting on you to do your work, because to overcome fear, the people that have fear as a stronghold, you have to do your work, and he's waiting on you. It's through me doing my work that I'm able to do what I'm doing today, that I'm able to help other women, that I'm able to encourage people to be uncomfortable about fear, because some of you guys has made friends with your fears. Okay, you've made friends with them, and that's not okay. Okay, and it's stopping you. You cannot accomplish your God-given destiny being controlled by fear. There's no way. No way. No way. Whether you're a believer or not, there's just no way. Because fear is there to hinder you, to stop you from going further, from taking risk. God risk, like good risk, from doing things you're supposed to be doing. It brings you into procrastination. I talked about that last time. Some people procrastinate because of fear. I used to be one of them. Okay, there are different reasons to procrastinate, but that's a big one. Okay, so guys, don't allow fear to continue to stamp your life, to continue to suffocate your life, to continue to hinder you. Click the link in my bio if you need help. I am a life coach. I am your answer to that solution. I am your solution to that situation, to overcoming your fear issues. Believers, I'm talking to you to overcome your fear issues and to do what God has called you to do. If this is a stronghold for you and it's something that you really can't accomplish on your own, it's not easy. I actually did this on my own. I didn't have a life coach. I didn't have a coach. At that time, I wasn't even familiar with that, to be honest. But it took time. I was really dedicated, though. That's another thing. You have to get to where you're like really, really like desperate. I was really desperate because I was not happy. And it started spreading, like stuff I wasn't even afraid about. I started getting fearful. It was just like, it was chaotic for me. So for me, it was like a desperate situation where I'm like, what? I gotta change this. I have to do what I need to do. And God gave me the time. Part of it, I wasn't even working when I was doing my work. That's my story. But part of the time, so I just dedicated a lot of time into working on things I needed to do. I made the steps the Lord told me to take to action things I had to do as well to do certain things to overcome it. So it's just a lot of work I had to do, and with my healing, it was part of my healing as well. I mean, it was just a lot. So there are people that can do it, but my situation was a little different. I'm sure there's a lot of different scenarios for everybody, but most people, you cannot do this on your own. You have to really be desperate enough to follow it through, because it doesn't feel good. Like the whole time, honestly, I was going through it and breaking my pattern. It was not good. I mean, my emotions and feeling out of my league and feeling out of my comfort zone and the mindsets I had to deal with and I had to change. It's a lot of work. It's consistent. To be consistent, you have your good days, your bad days. But the Lord just tell me, trust me, and follow what I tell you. And I just kept doing that. But I was desperate for the change. So, that's a part of it. You have to be desperate enough. If you're not really desperate, you're not at that place to do the work, and you're not there. You're not gonna follow through, But for permanent change, you have to do the work. For permanent change, you have to do the work. So I'm here to help you. You could click the link in my bio to have a free session. Not a free session, a free consultation, excuse me. I'm not doing free 20-minute free sessions anymore. I'm doing free consultation to see if we're a good fit and we could work from there. But, guys, think about it. If in 6 months from now, a year from now, whatever you really desire with the spirit thing, you are on the other side in like 6 months, within 6 months, definitely within a year. Is it worth it for you to invest in yourself to accomplish that? Because you're going to have to invest in yourself for the change. For those of you that cannot really do this on your own, most people can't. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's really a lot to pull through day after day after day after day. So, if you can, the things you really desire, you want to do, but fear is stopping you, is it worth you investing in yourself to really see that change? Think about it. What would you like to be doing? Like, if you weren't afraid, what do you see yourself doing? I'm sure it's awesome things, and are you willing to invest in that? But if I'm someone you believe you can work with, I will help you on that journey, and I will help you to have freedom. Find your own freedom. Actually, you will find your own freedom, and you will a lot of things I do too, people get in the process of everything that I do, a lot of healing comes out of it. A lot of identity issues are cleared up, and a lot of people get more clear on their purpose. People get more clear on their purpose, because when fear is not there and you know who you are and stuff like that, you start get more clarity about what I'm supposed to be doing, if you don't have that right now. So anyway, guys, love you so much. I really just want to encourage women and people in general, but women, I'm called to Christian women specifically, not to stay in fear and not to allow it to rob your destiny, and even relational wise, like I talked about earlier, some of you guys are stuck because of the fear stuff in dead end relationships that are just jabbing at who you are, and you're going to come out of it so much more broken. And you deserve better than that. You deserve better than that. So I hope you will get to the point where you deserve better and actually take the steps to break off those type of relationships so that you can make space for the right people at the right time. Okay? Because you have to learn to love yourself. It's not about having a man or whatever to build your happiness and your foundation. You have to love yourself, and in addition to that, someone could add to your happiness, but they're not the foundation. Okay? So love you guys. Thank you, Crystal. Hope you're doing well. Let me know about that job. Did that work out for you? Because that's what I heard. Let me know. So anyway, bless you. Love you guys. And I'll see you next Thursday. Okay? So enjoy your weekend. Love you. Bye-bye.